Is Cam Newton a Hall of Fame quarterback? Yesterday he came out and said that if Eli is getting a gold jacket before him, then he should get two. And it made me think, is Cam Newton even a Hall of Fame quarterback? When you look at his career and you look at his stats, I would tend to say no. He had a phenomenal rookie year. He had 5 phenomenal years in his 10-year career. His rookie year, he won rookie offensive rookie of the year, and threw for over 4,000 yards that season. Phenomenal year. In 2015, he was just unconscious, lights out, amazing. He went to the Super Bowl. I think they lost one game. I think it was to the Broncos. That was the first game they lost that year. It was, they just had an absolute dynamite offense that year. And those were his 2 really standout years. He had a couple other years where he was nominated for the Pro Bowl. And I think also 2015, he was NFL MVP that season. So he had a couple really good seasons. But after 2015, he only had 1 winning season. He really dropped off after the 2015 season and never really came back. He just withered out and did not do well. And and plus he only had 1 season with 4,000 passing yards. I know a lot of people will say that he had 75 rushing touchdowns. That's the NFL record at the moment, which will easily be passed by Lamar. But that's beside the point. It is a record right now. But yeah, having 5-year career with not the best stats, I would say. I think his win-loss record is 75-68, which is pretty poor. To be fair to him, if we're talking about him and Eli, Eli is like 172 and 172 on his win-loss record, so also not great. Eli had a 15-year career, so obviously some of his stats are bumped up a bit. He threw for 57,000 yards. He was a 4-time Pro Bowler. But also, Eli is a 2-time Super Bowl champion and a 2-time Super Bowl MVP, which, I mean, those are pretty important things to look at when considering the Hall of Fame. Also, he had 7 seasons where he threw for over 4,000 yards and 1 where he's 7 yards shy of 5,000 yards. So he was a pretty darn good QB. He had over 330 touchdowns. Just pretty solid 15-year career. Even his last season where they sat him and started Daniel Jones, I don't think you can put those. I think he should have continued to start and finish that season. He was still playing well. He had 5 picks, but like a lot of QBs, a lot of them bounce off their receivers' hands and into the defenders, and that goes as an interception, which is kind of not something it doesn't mean it was a bad decision by the QB overall. But yeah, I don't think either of them really are necessarily Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I do think we put a little too many people in the Hall of Fame, as a matter of fact. But if you want to look at like career-defining moments, and you look at Cam Newton and his kind of career-defining moment in the Super Bowl, everyone remembers the Super Bowl he played in. Number 1 offense versus number 1 defense. Cam Newton fumbles the ball, has an opportunity to jump on it, and just looked at it like, dude, that's not my job. He made a business decision. He didn't go after it. could have went after it and at least stayed in the game, um, potentially. But I mean, throw it all away if you don't jump on it, right? And that's kind of his defining moment in the Super Bowl. And if you contrast that to Eli, Eli was a Super Bowl hero. He spun out of a sack and threw a crazy pass. Plaxico Burress makes an insane catch, and they go on to beat the New England Patriots, one of the best teams in NFL history. Tom Brady was unstoppable that year. That was also the Patriots' first loss. And yeah, that is a pretty huge contrast in career-defining moments when you look at both of those things. One of them positive, like one of the most memorable moments in Super Bowl history, and the other is very negative. And I think we all remember. Anyone that's huge into the sport remembers that. It's just like, what are you doing? Why are you not putting it out there on the line for your team? And you can say, oh, I didn't want to get hurt. Then they don't have any chance. But what's the chance you get hurt going to recover a fumble? Come on. But yeah, I think if you just go off career-defining moments, Eli gets it and Cam doesn't. Cam doesn't have that great of a career. He had a few great seasons, but not a great career overall. And I think Eli, he had a pretty stellar career considering he played for the Giants. And winning in New York with how terrible the media is there and the fans are, I think that's a pretty standout career, actually. So, yeah. Especially if you can beat one of the best teams ever. I mean, the Patriots were having an absolute phenomenal season. One of the best years ever in NFL history. And the Giants go in and beat them. That's pretty awesome. So, yeah, Cam Newton is talking some crazy stuff that he deserves two. Dude, you don't even deserve one. But cool story, though.